Well, Djinn, I don't know what to say. I got the goosebumps. I that's such
Yeah,
a special thing to happen. Uh,
famous,
you're famous, yeah,
super famous.
yeah, and well, would you like to share this story with chat? Because man, I'm having chills all over.
Yeah, I guess it must be nice to know me now because it's pretty darn
He's famous, people. He's
yeah.
famous.
So this week, I'm a cleaner in the hospital. I clean the floors and make sure that they're all shiny and virus free. But I had just done some of the emergency service floors on Wednesday, and then the next day on Thursday, I was on
Imagine this.
national
Imagine
television.
this. People picture this. Picture.
I was on national television. Well, maybe I was not on national television, but behind the guys that were actually on national television were my floors, and they were shiny and they were eye-catching, and those were mine.
Yeah.
So I think I'm a national celebrity now.
So ever saw that item? Those floors were cleaned by this
This guy,
guy who is now famous.
yeah. So I'm really damn proud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me share this because it's yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah. You're a hero. Anyway, welcome to Talking Void. We have got to say, careful cantrip again is in chat, and she got recognized, or Rena got recognized in Toronto, a city of millions. So I think that we are one step away from that with your television appearance. But well, who knows, right?
I'll try to sneak in some podcast scenes next time.
Yeah, just sticker it. Oh, we have to order stickers. So, welcome everybody to Talking Void. It's already we are already on a how do you say, a hype train? I don't know where this is going to, people, but chat is going wild. That's okay. Hey, we moved on too fast. Was it a polished floor? Well, it is now. We're going to do stuff a bit differently because I felt like doing it a bit differently this time, which means that we are going to screw up the order of the items that will be on the show today, just as an experiment. And chat, let me know if you like it or not. But before all that, I have to mention our socials again, because clicking on those socials really helps us. Follow us wherever you can. Join us for nice chats. That's great as well. But yeah, every like, every bell, everything helps on YouTube and on Voidcast. If you have a Twitch Prime account, please throw your sub our way. That helps us as well. Join our Discord, Instagram, even Twitter, although we are not very active there. And of course our Facebook. And maybe you'll see us on, or at least me on the and Michelle probably, on the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition page group thingy there. Yeah, so I know I'm always looking to this corner because chat is there, so you always see the good side of my face by accident, I guess. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's good in morally good side, Anyway, I'm trying to be more active with Twitter. So there you go. Already got corrected by Michelle on my own show. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. So that's the social thing. The other thing is that next Monday will be the next episode of the Precipice of Dreams, and we are mixing up parallel projections a bit. So the next Monday after that, we have to see what we are doing. This show is still called Parallel Projections, and we had a great experiment last Monday, which is yesterday, doing the game Journey, where Michel played with chat and I played solo, and we came into. I came on his. Twitch stream after we both finished the game and talked about it some more, and then we talked about some more about other stuff. So that was pretty fun, and I think you can see what we did with that stream in the future. And everyone ended up chilled out and totally relaxed. Was awesome. Yeah, that's, oh man. The funny thing, and we said it, I don't know, Michel, if you said it at the start of the stream, but we at least said it at the end of the stream. Don't watch the stream before you played the game, which is totally subverting the expectations, I'm guessing, but oh, such a wonderful game. Anyway, this is Talking Void, and let's just jump into the intro, right? Are you ready for it, Djinn?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. So as Djinn and I were discussing within the first in the few seconds that the intro was on, we are just giving our mouths a push this evening. Yeah. Which is that Dutch proverb or not?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, definitely Dutch.
What other ones are? Go your corridor, which is always strange, which doesn't translate at all, which is totally different words for. Well, anyway, make that the cat wise. Always a funny one. Anyway, welcome to the show. How are you, Djinn?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Starting the new year slowly but steadily.
Yeah. So what does that look like? You move at 1 mile an hour, or?
Not too fast. Not too fast.
Yeah. I'm trying to do that as well, but my since work has work never stopped really, but is pulling me. You know, when in previous years you had this bit of a chilled out January because December had just ended. Well, that's not the case anymore. We're just going into it full speed and stumbling across all those new things we have to do. But library is a busy life, people. It's a busy life. So the first thing we are going to do differently is we are going to dive straight into the main topic. Woohoo! What? No Precipice of Dreams reactions? Yes, of course there will be Precipice of Dreams reactions, but they will be after the main topic. And I'm really curious what you think about this. Do you like this or not? Please tell me. You know, the funny thing is, there we go again, totally off topic, but maybe it's on topic because I did this, I don't know, is that when you work in retail, as I have previously, and you have all these new products and everything, the thing they always tell you is to first ask a question to the customers in front of you or anything, or your demographic kind of people thingy, to what would you like to see from us, you know? And of course, when we are doing this show, of course we're doing the Precipice of Dreams, which is the thing we wanted to do. But then with Talking Void, we started off by just reacting to the Precipice of Dreams because I wanted to do a talk show. Then we introduced a topic, which is in a way Michel's suggestion, which really worked very well. But then you start to ask, then you start to be really, then you start up an internal process instead of asking the people in chat what they think about certain things. Like, what do you think about the way the show is structured? Do you like it this way, or would you switch things around? And that's what I'm trying to do now. So I have switched things around already, but I'm going to ask you, do you like it or not? Anyway, long story short, what is the best friendship you...
The show.
Yeah, I control the show, but I want to do it in some cooperative way.
I meant chat.
Oh, yeah, and chat.
If they like it, we change it. That's how we do it.
Yeah. But we will not do it naked. I'm just going to say, because that's we are mature but not adult.
Yeah.
Or is it the other way around? I don't know. Anyway, Djinn.
Yes.
We are going to let the people answer the question: what is the best friendship you ever had in a campaign in D&D, and why?
To me.
Because I'm a telepath across great distances, Ashley. How did you know we were going to ask that? Ashley said. Only my good side. Well, maybe, I don't know.
This is one of the reasons I am very happy to be friends with you. It's always nice to have a friend with telepathy.
Yeah, because then I know that you're speaking the truth and everything, which is funny, and you can never hide any... Oh, Djinn, not that picture. Oh, no. Don't start it. Anyway. What is the best friendship you have ever had in a campaign in D&D, and why? So, this time, there weren't that many replies as normal. There's going to be one answer that sums it up, why, I think. But apparently this is one of the more difficult ones, or at least a kind of question where you really have to put some effort into writing an answer, or have to think about it. And you know, when you start to think about these kind of things and you see this thing on Facebook, and then you leave Facebook and you start thinking about it, and you have to do something else, and you probably forget to write it down. So I think that's what happened a lot. Yeah, but nonetheless, we have enough answers to last us the whole show. Well, that's the other thing. Normally, when we do the main topic at the end, we know that we're going to end with that somewhat, although there might be some questions afterwards for the Precipice. Well, we turn that around as well, blah, 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 blah. So I'm wondering, when will this topic end, and when will the Precipice of Dreams part start?
Begin.
Yeah.
Well, if we don't start answering the question, it will take a long time.
Yeah, true. So shall we go to the first answers? So remember the question. It ends with, and why? Yeah? Remember this. Now, there might be people in chat who gave these answers, so we shouldn't laugh about them. We should encourage them to be better people in general. Ashley, another Ashley says, by far our new characters Kevin and your druid. Mike says, Zur and Grubash. And AJ says, Monkey and Esrev. Your reaction?
These are absolute great reactions. I don't know any of the names, but they must have amazing best friendships. Or else they wouldn't have sent these answers to you.
Are we without sound? People's without sound at the moment? Sorry.
I don't know if it's for general, for chat, or for that mister.
Oh, okay, anyway. It's, if we don't have sound, please tell us. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, we can be heard well by some listener.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so very short answers.
Yeah, they're very short answers, and like my answer could be like that as well. But for me, it's a lot more elaborated. But that's because of the and why.
Yeah, let me ask you this, Jin, so you can do it in real life. Jin,
Yes.
let's wait. I'm going to skip back. What is the best friendship you ever had in real life, and why?
In real life.
And why? But you can only call a name now.
Yeah, that's why you cannot answer this
Yeah,
in real life
call a name.
because it that changes from time to time, and it
Just say
also
Jin and Jasper.
except for our friendship, of course, which overrules all.
Thank you. So Jin and Jasper. No context at all, but that doesn't matter. Now I love the funny thing is I have to laugh about this answer, but I also love this answer because somebody apparently got an idea of a great friendship that's either at the table or not. I don't know. Maybe they are characters. Maybe there's a character with a non-playing character. And that's the thing that I got asked as well. Is this around the table, or is it between characters, or is it a character with a non-playing character and everything? And of course, as always, there are no wrong answers to this question. And I think this isn't the wrong answer either. But it's a funny in a certain way because the and why is totally missing, of course. But apparently, there was a great friendship, and that's what's important, I think. Right?
Exactly. So the question does immediately bring friendships to the mind.
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
And I think they're
Oh,
D&D
this guy
because
named Jin. Oh yeah, Jin.
do you know anybody named Zer with 3 R's or 2 R's?
No,
So I'm guessing that they're D&D characters.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grobage.
Or Grobash is just the originalist name I ever heard.
Original. Yeah, because he himself, and I'm presuming, is called Mike. So that's a whole different level. Yeah. So the first answers, and I always start out with the kind of funny ones, but these might have been funny unintentionally. I don't know. I still appreciate them, and I chatted with these people to let them know that they would be on the show and why, so they know about it. I do that with everyone who comes on the show, by the way. So I always say that their answers will be included, although not with their whole names and everything. Then let's go into the second screen. Man, we're at 20% already. Jim says, "Wow, I've been gaming for over 30 years. That's a tough one. I've had characters get married, both to PCs and non-playing characters. I have had rivals that ended up being boon companions, willing to sacrifice their lives for each other." And Sarah says, "My human wizard Freddy became very close friends with Astrid, the Azamar clerk. They still use sending to talk regularly. That's such a difficult word. So here we have Karit and Jahira felt a bit like friends. Oh, okay, that's true. Yeah. But back to this answer first. So I like the first one, which sums it up and says, "Wow, I've been playing for 30 years. That's quite a difficult question." Apparently, yeah.
I think I agree that the longer you play, the more difficult this question becomes.
Yeah.
Or could become.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how amazing friendship Bowen and Solwing are going to have, but that might be the best ever, you know?
Could be, yeah.
But we don't know yet.
Is it in the stars for Bowen and Altleaf or Bowen and Thomas? I don't know, but Bowen and Solwing? Certainly. I think so, yeah. Unless our paths really diverge, I don't know.
I don't think so.
And are we talking about Bowen or are we talking about Bowen?
I think that we're talking about both, as they are connected.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we're almost getting into the precipice of dreams anyway. But I'm going to hold on to that for a bit, Yeah. So there are some things happening in chat. Ashley says, I really killed it with this question, didn't I? I still have sound. Okay. Was it you then, Ashley? No, it wasn't you, right? You're another Ashley. Yeah, you're another Ashley. Anyway, Mireneus says, my answer, one-sided bromance between Flame Feather and Soulwing. They even share a token over 2 separate campaigns.
That's an inside joke.
Yeah, I don't understand that one. Oh, I understand it right now. Yeah, okay, I think I understand. And Esner says, Karit and Jaheira felt a bit like friends, all three because their story is so sad. So that's Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 1, Baldur's Gate 2, in a way. And yeah, I couldn't... I played through Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 with Esner. And I agree. They were this lovely couple who were harpers by accident. And we really got into their story. Their bickering and their love for each other. And their stuttering Karit and brusque Jaheira. Yeah. But that's love you can feel for 2 non-playing characters. Yeah, sure. Yeah. And so then the second one that's on here, so I could go into, I've had characters get married both to PCs and NPCs. So this is the Dungeon Master kind of view of this question, of course, where he says that anything, he really says anything can happen. And then Sarah was talking about her human wizard Freddy. Became very close with Astrid the ASMR clerk. They are still using sending to talk regularly. I think I put them together because I think this question, this answer, is a great summary of something bigger. Do you agree?
I think I know where you're going, and I totally agree.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And that's it, folks.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, it was so beautiful. Now we're going to the next slide. If anyone in chat wants to contribute, that's okay, of course, as well. But we have a couple of things to go through. Christopher said, I was DMing and 2 of the players decided on their own that they were BFFs. Even though they had just met, they would regularly gallivant off together and refer to each other as extra most bestest adventurer friends. They would also hoard loot to gift to one another regularly. So the first question I'm going to ask is, are you in chat? The one who sent this in. He didn't know if he could get on the show this evening. Or she. No, I don't remember. They. But the funny thing is, I think it was a he. And he went on about this question in chat, and he explained that this even got so far as that the other players got a bit annoyed by them, because apparently one of them had put aside Holy Avenger Paladin Sword, what we all know is the best Paladin Sword there is, in a way. And the players confronted that character with it, well, how did you get that sword then? And they, between sessions, they had really made a scroll where they had written down that it was some kind of nephew who had sent that sword to them via post or mail or anything, and that was their. They could really hold that in front of the other players, who then could do nothing else but say, "Okay, you won." Yeah. Hope I made any sense there, but yeah. That's how these things can intertwine. I think. Any thoughts, Djinn?
Yeah, well, I think that if you don't shut out the other players, it should be fine, right? I mean, you can be sort of extra bros contra the rest of the party as long as you still function as a party.
I think so too.
Like with the letter, it seems to also make for great roleplay. So
Yeah. So I remember when I had this new party a couple of years ago, and the rogue was really getting into his rogue thingies, and he set apart some of the gold that they found, and the players were really mad at him for doing this, because in any given game that we are playing now, like World of Warcraft, gold is divided evenly across a dungeon, and that's of course not the case with Dungeons and Dragons. And so this one person can have this sense of wealth because he simply steals from the party, which is kind of what he did, and that's in character. But it isn't that important. It's just important for the fact that it's his role, and not for the value you will get out of the adventure anyway, because in the end you are sure to get your share of magical loot and gold and everything. You don't have to worry about that in Dungeons and Dragons as well. And it's as fun to play with 1 gold as it is with 10,000 gold, I think. So this mindset is very interesting. Although I can imagine that if the Holy Adventure gets lifted from a chest and it's the main piece of loot there is, that you might feel a bit distraught. But who cares? It's Dungeons and Dragons, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
it's
But,
like somebody else than Arthur taking the sword from the stone and being like, "Hey, I took the sword. I'm the king, you know." But Arthur's right there. Yeah, but he didn't take the sword now, did he?
no, I was there first.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
exactly. Yeah, those things happen in alternative realities.
Yeah. I think that Arthur is an alternative reality on itself.
That could also be.
Yeah.
And that you're still holding the sword
Yeah.
for keeping. Yeah, that could be.
So let's go to the next one, right?
Yeah, let's go.
Eileen, which is funny enough is the same name as my daughter has, and she is Dutch, which is also funny. Says, I think it's Devo, the friendship between my changeling and their simic friend. The simic became her literal knight, and they are a team. Close second is the friendship between the cleric bard and my warlock from the first campaign we played in 5th edition. So I had to ask her what is a simic.
Yeah,
But that's Gaito Ravnica, kind of mutated human or elf race, which is from the Gaito Ravnica is from the Magic the Gathering campaign setting that the Wizards of the Coast did for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. So now we are all up to speed, and here you start getting the feeling that people are starting to know what they are talking about when it comes to friendship. Do you agree?
in D&D, yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
No.
Although I didn't know what Simic Friend was, though.
No.
But I do know now, so
Yeah,
I feel more educated.
Simic is a guild from Ravnica from Magic the Gathering. Yeah, that's Michelle is translating my bird of words to chat, I think.
Ah, nice. Thanks.
Thank you. Blue-green mana colors. Okay. That is funny. Well, I hope they're using a lot of mana then. Focuses on evolution. Yeah, well, that's yeah, that about says it all then, right? So, and the first thing we see appearing here is friendships across multiple campaigns. A good book, but the Teros one is just gorgeous. Yeah, I have the Teros book. And I have to say, I don't really understand how all these campaign books relate to each other. I still have to get used to the way they are filled with content. Let's put it that way. When you had the second edition Planescape campaign, for example, you had this main box, and then you had boxes for all the expansions, and you had booklets with adventures, and booklets with new lore and new characters and everything. And I don't get that sense from any one of the books I have now. I currently have Wildmount and Teros. And although I love the books, for me, it doesn't allow for a deep dive yet into the lore, I think. Although it's gorgeous and it's new. They come from the Wizards Cash Cow division. I don't think they are particularly related. Okay. Yeah. So, Djinn.
Yes.
Can you tell me anything about friendship?
I think I can.
And this time,
not focus on our thing.
No, just Dungeons and Dragons related.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Because when you asked the question, I thought that this is a very nice question to answer. But like I said before, I've been Dungeons and Dragoning for almost 20 years now too, and played several campaigns, some of them containing very large periods of time. And in all those campaigns, I made friendship, and I think those friendships are not per se compatible or comparable. I'm sorry. So it depends on what character you play, how you enjoy your friendship in that campaign. So it is a very difficult question to answer, and I think I told you this before we started the show. For me, the question really entails my relationship between friendship in general and D&D, because when I first played D&D, it was with friends, and we just wanted something to do, and we tried to do something new and played some D&D, and then I found friends who were actually playing big campaigns, and they were telling me about it, and I really, really wanted to do a big story campaign, kind of D&D campaign, but they were full, so there was no room. So I just kept on asking how the game progressed, because the story was very cool, made by Roger, by the way. And then at some point he said, I have a major character in the story, and I think I might want to let him be played by a player character. Actually, I have a few major characters that I want to have played by player characters. And then I asked, or at least we talked with some of my best friends, and they became the party next to the main party and the main adventure. And then at some point it converged, and we were 10 players in a party, and you were in that other party. And I think that some of the people that I didn't know so well outside of D&D from that party now have all become close and best friends of mine. So for me, the best friendship is D&D, because with D&D you make new friends and you have something to do with your friends. It's very compatible, because all the first friendships in D&D in a longer campaign that I had were already with my best friends from real life, so that happened very smoothly. Of course, there are some character acting things that you have some things to play out, but in the end they all became my very best friends in game, and that tends to happen a lot with long-term campaigns, that people who enter your party you don't know actually become your friends.
Yeah, then you're talking about the people again, right? The real people.
Yeah. But it starts in D&D. So you start a friendship with a character, and then like 2 years later you end up in the person who plays the character's house drinking a beer with them, probably talking about D&D, but maybe some other stuff too,
probably,
you know.
Yeah. Remember those teenage evenings? Yeah, I really missed the thing where we could play from 8 o'clock in the evening to 4 o'clock at night on a Friday night. 8 hours in a row. Getting well, we had a lot of apple juice. Let's put it that way. And yeah, those times are a bit over, but the friendships last. And that's funny. So I wanted to read because Eric wanted to add something as well, because he came up with this in the same way as he said. Does it have to be about characters and non-playing characters, or can it be about people? And he sent me a short thing. And he says, "My Breach Gaming group. Long answer. My cousin went to the USA for his study. His D&D group asked if he knew someone to fill his shoes during his absence, and that someone was me. And now, almost 9 years later, I'm creating awesome streaming videos and content with some of them, and I'm still playing the same campaign with all of them. Best decision ever. Thanks Jasper, Roger, Giel, Sayan, Bram, Frans, and now Michel and Djinn for past awesome times and more awesome times to come." So that's, yeah.
Thank you too, Eric.
Yeah, thank you too, Eric. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what D&D does, right? Maybe we should have put this on the end. I don't know. I always get... it feels a bit... I didn't want to put it on the end because I didn't want this topic to be about us all the time, you know? So let's put it in the middle and discuss it for a bit. Because, as we all know, by now, the people who watch this show, I can become a bit emotional when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons, and I don't want to be that to be the main thing that we take away from this in the end this time, because we have some great answers coming up. Yeah, but it's true. Friendships for life, I think. Wood, thanks, Herr Stevens. Yeah. Shall we go to the next one, Djinn?
Let's do it.
Valerie says, "Oh, I would say my Lightquirk Teva and a rogue named Lucy. Lucy was a boy. Teva recently escaped a cult and was incredibly naive. All the other party members tried to corrupt him for a joke, but Lucy was super protective despite being the most hedonistic of the party. If everyone tried to get Teva drunk, Lucy would order him milk instead. Cute stuff like that. Lucy saw him like a little brother, and it was adorable."
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. And we're getting a bit of context right now. So the why is becoming clearer. And I like that a lot. Because, Valerie even wrote a message answering her own message, I think a day later or something, saying, "Oh man, I miss it. I miss Teva and Lucy." Man, I'm a sucker for emotions.
Yeah, and it's beautiful played. It's it seems like a very nice connection considering the class and the role play that could follow from it. Like you just said, the rogue hoarding the cash, but actually protecting the cleric from doing non-clerical things for a rogue is a very, very nice and opposite way of handling things.
Yeah, I like it as well.
It sounds amazing. It really sounds amazing.
Yeah. So great story. And let's get into the next ones. Saw says, between characters, my gnome character was good friends with this half-orc, and then the gnome died. But the player of the half-orc started his own campaign for the gnome because he liked him so much. So we played a few sessions where a portal opened and the gnome passed through and survived. There he met a dragonborn and became friends with him instead. So, at the start of this sentence, I thought, oh, I know where this is going, but then it changed a bit in the middle somewhere. But the thing we have to take away from this probably is that there's love for the character itself, there's love for how he interacted with someone, and then instead of that love being returned towards the same person, it went to a different person, but it felt the same. That's what I take away from this. But
Yeah, I think that sort of sums it up. Although we don't know for sure that the Dragonborn is played by the same player.
true. But I think that for this person, it felt like the same kind of friendship.
And we don't know if the player who played the half-orc made the half-orc start a new campaign, or if the player started a new campaign. Because that could also be what we're seeing here. That the half-orc
Yeah, okay. This is...
made a new campaign to resurrect his friend.
yeah.
And then we're going Inception and...
Yeah.
really weird
Or
shit.
it could be that in an alternate universe, this half-orc drew the sword from the stone instead of Arthur.
I think that might be it.
Yeah.
We're on to something right now.
Yeah, we're on to something. Yeah. Oh, man. Complicated. But, well...
True friendship, and especially the gnome, obviously was a good character to be friends with.
yeah, if a whole new campaign started just to be... to make him come back alive, that's great, right? Who does that? Who does that?
Creating a world to keep your friend alive. Not a lot of persons do that.
No. So I think that's pretty cool. The
I think
half-orc name would ironically be Artdur. Typical Marinaius. Yeah, instead of Ambien, or what is it? It's called Ambrian. Anyway, yeah. Is it Ambien? It is Ambien, right?
Albion.
Albion. Oh yeah, Albion. So Arbrian. That's the orc for variant. The orc variant. Man, I'm starting to confuse myself with this this thing. Yeah, which is not new at all. But
No, it's okay.
yeah, it's okay.
It was a nice mind escape experiment.
So Jeff says, back when I DM'd, like 25 years ago, I had a player who had a barbarian, who ended up getting hold of a cursed battle axe that had a pixie possession. The curse caused him to covet the axe, but the pixie annoyed him to no end because she claimed ownership of the axe. However, over time they became good friends and learned to share the axe between them, and even developed battle strategies with one another. It actually became a book-worthy character pairing. Everyone involved remembers it fondly, even today, so many years later.
That sounds really awesome as well.
Yeah. So can you think of a character that you still love as a friend to this day?
Yes, definitely.
Who?
More. So Strife McCannon of the clan McCannon.
You said the right one first. I had a bet with Michelle that you would say that one first. So there we go. Or not really a bet, but Michelle said, Strife and Lothar, man.
Yeah, but it's true. It's true. It was a odd alliance, and especially because also his character died. It was like, it was like extra clinched. I don't know how to say this in English, but it made an extra impact because that friendship was something that became something of the past instead of something which
lasted.
We don't know how it ends. Yeah.
Yeah. Sad, but true. So we discussed this yesterday at the end of our show yesterday. We went off the record. We ended the show kind of, and then we just kept on chatting. And Michelle said this, so Ashley recognizes this moment as well. That's so funny. Well, now comes the sad part, because I have to tell this then as well. I didn't go into it that much yesterday because I wanted to hold on to it for today. I have been racking my mind about a friendship in that campaign. And I think my best friendship was with my wolf. Because I don't think my character, Amfortas really had any real friends. He had good companions. He had, in a way, he had love for some, but I think he was a bit disconnected at the same time.
I agree, but I don't think that you could go out and say that he didn't have any friends, because the last move that I remember him making, that
Yeah.
must have come something from friendship at the least, or else if that was just duty, then I don't know if it would
Yeah,
have happened.
I think for the largest part it was duty. Although he liked Alan, of course, which was, and he saved him, but and he took on the burden of the universe, so to say, to aid Alan, who he could call his friend. I think he did it mostly out of duty, and that's because. I think that if Amfortas loved anything, it was not his companions, but the people of the world, so to say. Because what Amfortas always did was make our friend Sir Scankulot, for example, who's not in chat right now, I think, look at what's right here instead of all those metaphysical ideas of how we could save the world and let the most intelligent people go out through a portal first and everything. He was always about the people, even though he didn't really know the people. No, he had been a prince in exile, and when he was a king, he let his brother rule instead. So, yeah, I think his best relations were more with non-playing characters and his wolf, because I loved Fang.
Yeah, no, definitely. If that was a friendship, then get out of here.
Yeah, that was a friendship, but it's so strange to realize, because, as we know, when you said that our two parties met, and there were the Reavers, who were 4 close friends, and there were these 6 egoistic guys who were all wanted to be in the lead of the group, so to say. Well, maybe not Tassilos, but anyway. And all these egos bashing against gates and doing their own thing, not with no real relationship between them, except for a common goal.
Yeah, I didn't feel that way when we met your party, though. There were some friendships, but there was always that united goal which went above everything, and that was not so with our party.
Yeah.
We had a goal, but we would never leave men behind.
But each person in that party had kind of its own objective as well. They all became these ethereal beings who were these the guardian of life, the guardian of death, the constant, the what was your name again?
I'm not gonna go there. No. The white spider. Let's just keep it at that.
Yeah. So and that's how can you love such things except for maybe in some reference to what they are, to revere what they are. I don't know. It's complicated. But I really had to think about this question, and I don't think I had any. And I think that if we are talking about Bowen, I think that solving is a great option. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that friendships are still being made there.
Yeah.
But I do feel that like from my perspective, you did have some friendships as Amfortas, but maybe not as close and emotional as you would expect friendships to be.
And I was always mad at everyone. So.
Yeah, but you also had their backs.
Yeah, that's true.
Not
unquestionably.
Not only when it was just for the duty thing, it was also if something unexpected came up, you always had our backs as well. So there must have been something of.
Yeah, there must be.
Speechgefühl.
Can you feel love without having a friendship? Because I think it's somewhere in that realm.
Yeah, and that's a whole different question, I think. But that's an
Well, we
interesting.
are two philosophers here on Talking Void.
Yeah, no, but I think it's possible.
Yeah.
But I also think that you're very well able to hide the fact that you love someone and just throw it in a lot of different terms so that it doesn't become love and something rational. But it is. Deep down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then it's friendship as well? Or not?
Yeah, because you just rationalize it, but in like if you go layer down deep and further than your own comfort zone, there's probably some love involved as well, but you just don't want to go there and be emotional about stuff. So you just do a business relationship, but deep down you're actually friends, you know.
So now I have to start thinking about that because I have to explore that. Maybe we'll come back to this topic for the next time you're on Talking Void. I don't know, which is pretty strange, by the way, because I feel like you were just on Talking Void and now you're on here again.
Yeah.
But it has been 10 weeks, right?
Yeah, I think 10 even. Yeah.
Yeah, because of Careful Cantrip was.
Which was awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if I already said that live, but
yeah,
it was awesome. Thank you for
not
that.
live. Yeah, so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's how a memory is stored in the brain as well. You know, connecting the previous conversation immediately to this one and skipping the whole 10 weeks that are in between. Wow, man, off topic again. Anyway.
Beautiful brains.
So now, Djinn, this is we're now getting into a new how do you say reveal thingy. I don't have art like Erik does, but if you would be so kind as to look on your Twitch screen.
I'm there.
Yeah. Now, if everything should be as it is, it should say on your screen that Hannah is saying, my halfling druid, Izzy, and the party's human barbarian, Torik, they were the best friends and drinking buddies. Izzy would hand out cupcakes to the party all the time. It was her love language. She ended up dying, and because of how she died, the party, except for the two involved with her death, forgot about her existence. When Izzy died, our sorcerer did as well. Are you still looking?
Yeah.
Because this, of course, is not the whole story. Do you know what I did?
No. Talk me through it. Go.
Keep looking. Keep looking. It's the big answer screen. Can you see it? Oh no, you can't because I didn't switch. Man, sorry.
Yeah, I'm building up tension.
There we go. There we go.
Oh!
Big answer screen. Big answers. It's almost like a combat encounter, you know.
I had no idea what was coming.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I forgot to switch it for a second there. Okay, there you go.
Thanks.
So the question continues. They went through the afterlife together and were given the choice of reincarnation or passing on. Izzy didn't believe in reincarnation or resurrection and believed it was her time, so she chose to pass on. Before doing so, she told the sorcerer to pass on a message to the rest of the party. Basically, she wanted them all to know about her decision and that she loved them. Because of the nature of her death, everyone but the sorcerer and the wizard, who were both directly involved on Izzy's death, forgot about her. When the sorcerer went to Torik, she told him Izzy loved him and to be strong. Torik had lost all memory of Izzy's existence, but for some reason the words made him really sad. He walked back to his room, stared at a cupcake, the last one Izzy ever gave out, and he cried. Later on, he met an orphan girl who he adopted. She didn't have a name, so he named her the first thing that came to his mind, Izzy.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's a nice one, right?
Yeah,
that's a big answer.
With the big answer, it's and it's tragic, by the way. I mean, I say it's nice, but it's super tragic.
Yeah.
And beautiful.
Yeah. I love these kinds of stories.
Yeah. And they immediately like you immediately think, but why?
Yeah.
Why did the party not know what happened? She told the sorcerer to give the message. What happened?
As I said, I like to chat with everyone who answers this question, and this person replied to me almost immediately and said that to understand the story is that she was part of a group that tried to destroy the world, and as punishment for doing this, a goddess who intervened in that thing took her soul and made that soul watch over her companions for eternity, or for at least for how long they would live, and made the soul is still watching her companions, but because it was lifted from the world, everyone forgot about the soul.
Who would have imagined the cupcake giving lady to be actually out to destroy the world?
Yeah, I didn't. Well, I don't think that person is in chat right now. But
No.
yeah, that's man. Who does that? Who does that?
I don't know.
Giving away cupcakes and destroying worlds, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Without a world, there are no cupcakes. Come on, you guys.
Yeah. But I really love this story because it goes so much deeper than there's this I love tragedy. I just love it. And I said to this person, which I shouldn't have said because it spoiled something again, but it reminded me of season 4 of Doctor Who with the Donna companion, which you now all have to watch because that's my most favorite companion of all the companions of the Doctor. Don't know if you watch Doctor Who, Djinn?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So do you know?
Yeah, I know. It's amazing.
And this reminds me of that, that such yeah. Chat, I'm not crying, you are crying. Ashley, what I did earlier, I drained my crying tubes so I wouldn't mess up my face. But that doesn't mean that I'm not crying now. I am. Misha says, beautiful answer. And Ashley says, proof that purveyors of baked goods really are evil. That's true as well. Renee says, if the entire pantheon of that world was twisted and evil, it makes sense to try and destroy it to do better. Yeah, well, there we go.
There we go.
You Thanos. Anyway, something. Yeah, if you have to.
Now we are in the dark again.
Yeah.
What happened there? Why?
No. So this is why I said at the start of the show that this topic might require big answers, and that's a bit harder to do than small answers on the social media. So I'm really glad for such an answer. And can I tell you something else, Djinn?
Then do it.
I've got 2 more big answers.
Whoa!
Yes, it's true.
Loving this screen. I'm going to read with you.
Okay. And hopefully people at home can now read it as well, because I can't keep making the font smaller. And it took a clearer font for the text. Maybe you can see that as well. Anyway, here we go. Chris says, so in one of our campaigns we had a low-level argumentative relationship between my monk and my wife's bard. We were always feuding back and forth, with her halfling bard constantly berating my dwarf monk for running in and doing stupid shot, which is probably another word. For his part, Oban felt she was shallow and gullible. It made for a great back and forth, but eventually Shannon decided to call him out for his bullshit. She just couldn't conceive of why he always ran headlong into danger. Oban explained to her the truth, that he was a worthless piece of crap who had failed at every stage of his life and didn't have anything left. He was a loser, and the best he could do is hope for a glorious death. It was a great character moment, and Shannon ran up and hugged him, and Oban stood there and stoically took it. He didn't say anything, but he did appreciate it. From that moment on, whatever happened, whatever dangers faced the party, Oban always stood between Shannon and danger. He loved that little halfling and would do anything to protect her. It was a raw, visceral emotion that chokes me up to think about. D&D is amazing sometimes.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So now I'm not crying again, because for one, I'm a bit jealous of this person, because he and his wife are in the same campaign and have this other dynamic, I suppose, than in real life happening between their characters as well, which is, I think, something pretty amazing. And it's a good story to boot, you know? I think I once saw this small comic that was about this guy who had called his orc barbarian something like Coolio or something, you know, a silly name that really doesn't make any sense for a fantasy setting. And then there was this bard with another stupid name, and they hated each other from first level on. And then it went to the next panel. It says 20 sessions later or so, and Coolio is dying in her arms, and she's getting all emotional about it. And that's what D&D does, you know. 20 sessions later, the names are still the same, but they have such a different impact than what they had in the first sessions of play. And well, that's what I'm getting out of this one as well. Esner says, wow. Mirne says, awesome, and by just sometimes. Love the dynamic of this one. Yeah, I love the dynamic as well, Mireneas. Esner says, wow, and Ashley says, that's the word, Esner. Wow, I love this hobby. Nightbot says, missed an episode, watch all of our previous episodes on YouTube, but I don't think that's really an integral part of this conversation.
No.
And Esner says again, well, Ashley, I think we can now conclude that you really killed it with this question. Yeah, because it was Ashley's question that we took, that we started out with. And I didn't even mention that at the start of this, but of course it's Ashley's question. I think, it's great when it leads up to these kinds of answers, you know, where real life and characters are intermingled, but they are still two different relationships. That's what I really like about it, you know? Any more thoughts, Djinn, about this one?
Yeah, I think that with this one and the last one as well, you can see that by playing a character, you sometimes have to try to imagine what another person is like and how they will react. And then if you play with other characters, you find out that things which maybe in your own life are not seeming to be compatible can actually be compatible as long as you both give some effort and try. And I think that this is really beautiful, because obviously if you have a relationship with someone, you know each other very well, and to still be emoted like this from something that you do, it just shows that you can really still affect each other within D&D. And I recognize that a lot. There's maybe too many moments, if you're talking about friendship in D&D, where obviously my real life friends at that time as well, but also in character, the characters did things that as a real person you don't know how to respond. You're like, this is so nice, or this is so cool, or this is so unexpected. How do I and my character react to this? Because it's amazing, and people show you that they're awesome, and that that does something.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, cool. Let's go to the next one, which is the last one for the main topic. Josh says, man, my tiefling wizard Everise traveled with a band of mercenaries contracted to conduct a slash and burn campaign across a kingdom. One of his compatriots was a half-orc barbarian named Nagol. Over the course of the campaign, they both obtained a massive amount of power. Everise became so skilled in magic that he could pull celestial bodies from the cosmos, and Nagol became so strong that he was able to physically break out of a mental labyrinth conjured by Bahamut. Baphomet, sorry. A concept that scholars can't explain to this day. Eventually, they both became such a threat to Orcus and his imminent invasion of the material plane that Avarice leveraged this fact to bargain with the demon prince. In exchange for the safe return of his daughter's soul, Avarice promised to kill Nagol, return Orcus's wand, and leave the material plane forever. In the midst of the final battle in Orcus's lair, Avarice turned on his allies and disintegrated Nagol, trapping his soul in the process. Once his daughter's soul was secure, he released Nagol's soul, which was then free to revive inside the clone Avarice had been preparing for the last several months. The tide turned quickly. Orcus was slain in his own realm, and the party escaped Thanatos and returned to a bleeding but saved material plane. They would each go on to tend in some way to the kingdom they had almost destroyed. Avarice and Nagol have maintained what is, from the outside looking, a strange bodyguard-protectee relationship. It is a friendship in which they are not always in the same room or even on the same continent. Avarice does not know what kind of food Nagol likes, and Nagol does not know what sort of music Avarice listens to, but Avarice would die for Nagol, because Nagol has already done the same for him, for his daughter.
Wow.
Yeah. That's another kind of goosebump for me, and that might be the closest that I got with Ellen, because Mirenes said, yeah, maybe Ellen and Fortas, maybe that's true, but because this feels, I can relate to this kind of Dungeons and Dragons other types of friendships that, you can play across the decades within a matter of seconds, really, or you can play a week of a campaign in a matter of years, vice versa. And you know that when someone tells you that this is how they are, you know for certain that this is their relationship. And that's what I really love about this answer. They don't know what kind of food or music they like, but they know they've got each other's backs no matter what, no matter where. With all the complications in between and the sacrifices and everything. Yeah. What do you think, Djinn?
Yeah, I love the story, and I love the twist in it. Because I don't know how that played out like in the session, but that betrayal or seemingly betrayal would come down really hard on our party or any of my parties. If one of your own party members suddenly kills one of your other party members to secure family or friends or another NPC or whatever, I would be really frustrated. Also, as a human being, I would be like, what are you doing? We're trying to fix this, and what's happening? And then if you find out that there's a backplay and everything like that, I would be amazed. I would love that player for doing it, and I would love the other player for going along with it. And it's one of the things why we play D&D, right? Because these things can happen, and these things can be thought about.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you speak the truth. As Ashley Gibson says, I think that Djinn nailed it. The world needs more empathy right now, and this is the way to learn it and practice it, which is more in answer to the previous question, but it also applies to this one. And I think, sorry, and now I have to call them out. Esner says truth at Ashley Gibson. Ashley says, that made my spine tingle. Mirenes says, bonds, not necessarily friendship. Well, in the balance, I think. And Ashley again says, but we all have a friend like that from our past, someone that could call tomorrow and we would be there for them, but you don't even know where they live.
True.
Yeah, well,
in my case, at this point, true. I have someone who is somewhere in Mexico, I think, at this moment.
Yeah.
But if I would call, he would come. And if he would do the same, I would do the same.
Well, I have such a friend in chat right now, so he knows who he is. We lost sight of each other for a while, but stronger than ever, I think. And when I had my heart attack, he came from Sweden, so that tells a story, I think.
Yep. That says it all.
That says it all. Yeah. Oh man, see now we are. My tear ducts are not dry at all.
So now for Precipice of Dreams.
Yeah, we're not ending on a tear today.
No, okay.
Me, of course, says Misha. Well, in this time it wasn't you. No. But yeah. This is the last answer to the question, and let's go back to the small screen because I saw there was a little error in the video, which I dislike. 1010 would fly again, says Esner. Thank you, Esner. Yeah. It's easier not being on the camera. We can cry all we like. Yeah. Well,
I'm constantly crying, but you guys don't see it because it happens on the inside of my head and not on the outside.
Yeah, it's all leaking inwards. Yeah. Yes. Oh man, the funny thing is, I thought this would be less emotional than the previous ones, and now suddenly it tears me up. I didn't want to end. Well, maybe I did. Maybe I'm just going. Anyway. Yeah, those were some big answers to a beautiful question by Ashley that we did on our talk show, and I'm really glad we did.
Yeah, I'm so happy that I clean floors and not play violin, because then I could have gone to the edge with you.
Yeah. You know, I'm really into reaction videos for against music right now, and the ones I'm listening to the most are Nightwish, which I lost sight of for 15 years. But every time someone is reacting to certain videos, they always start crying and say, "Yeah, man, yeah." So if you would have started crying on the camera, I would orgasm. Yes, I would certainly have started crying as well because that's what it works for yawning and it works for crying, I think. So yeah.
That's why I'm making all these stupid jokes, because it happens the other way around as well. So I'm trying.
Okay, you're trying to lift the mood again. So, Djinn. All good things come in threes. Fantastic title, if I say so myself. Sorry for patting myself on the back, but it's not. I didn't come up with it, by the way. But we came up with it during the session, and I thought it was such a great title for an episode. All good things come in threes. I was hoping you would break into a pitch-perfect rendition of Ghost Love's score. No, I can't do it. That's not true. No, it's not to go there. Yeah. Although I love the Greatest Show on Earth the most, I think, but it's so long. All good things come in three, and the potent pendulum is. Anyway, man, now chat is going on about that. Let's concentrate on this thing here, right here. All good things come in threes. What did you think of the episode, Djinn?
I absolutely loved it.
Yes,
it was really. I knew in advance that there was going to be something happening with the mushrooms and everything, and it just way overperformed on my expectations. So it was just like it became cooler and cooler during the whole episode, and I think that there were a lot of people who were in a good mood. So I had a lot of laughs, and I enjoyed it to the max. I actually, after the session, I said, I'm done. Like, I did everything that I want to accomplish with this campaign. So I'm done. I'm good.
Okay, see you. We have a spot open, chat. So
no, but it's not true. But I like literally is sometimes you have these things that you want to do with your character and would love it if that works. And for me, last session was exactly that. This is how I imagined Soulwing to function, and he did just that. So, but
Yeah.
I also loved the interactions because it felt very fluid. So a lot of things happened. It was very story wise, and loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to say, me as well. I thought it was great that we started in Theater of Mind mode for once, because I think that's totally being neglected in these times of virtual tabletops and everything. And I loved how that finally went into a virtual tabletop, but for the end part of the battle, it got a bit more strategic with moving certain squares. But I just love the imagination, how imagination took me to the top of a root that was hanging from the ceiling instead of moving across squares, and the fact that it was so scary at the same time, like 12 mushrooms, 50 mushrooms, 100 mushrooms, and we had to move. So that was a great feeling as well. And then, of course, your interaction with the tree and with Thomas was amazing. And I kind of so Ashley says it was so good. Roger is a master. Yeah, he is. He's a game master and a dungeon master, but he's also a master. No, where was I going with this?
I don't know. I literally stalked Roger for a year to play in his first campaign, like I told earlier in this session, and he does that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I pitied him a bit because we are so mobile.
Yeah,
that's going to be hard for him at certain points, because we move in every dimension. Even Thomas, he can fly now.
I don't feel that because I've been flying since the beginning, and he has excellent ways to deal with that. Let's call it like that.
Yeah.
I like.
Of course, he has.
I was like, I can always fly away, and then after a few sessions, it was like I need to take into account that if he knocks me unconscious, well, I'm really high up in the air, I'm going to die from falling damage. So I need to be more careful with just having that.
I'm wondering when the first dungeons with 10 feet ceilings will be appearing.
No, but actually, that was. I was warned in advance that there might be a lot of scenes where open flying might not take place. So, do you still want to play in Averin? Yes, please. Yes.
yes, please. Yeah, it was a cool session, and I think we said it about almost every session. We are getting more and more relaxed doing it, and I think this one really showed it, because we had a lot of laughs and it was still exciting and dangerous and everything. I mean, when Thomas crashed into that tree, you know that I didn't even register that he was dying when it happened. I was laughing so hard that I totally missed that part for a while. But then it's totally Bowen as well. So
I was also laughing really hard. But with me, sometimes it's like you can see the turns coming, and then you see you missing those turns, and then you see the inevitable danger coming, and then at some point I snap and I just start laughing because I'm like, oh, this is going to end very bad, and the only way I can cope in my mind is just to make humor out of it, because I'm really well, panicking is maybe not the right word, but at those moments I'm really thinking like, no, not one of our characters, come on.
No. True.
Instead of being like that, my mind goes to laughing mode, and it's just, especially with these things as can I catch him? No. And then I think, oh no, it's going to become even worse. Ha ha ha.
I had this visualization, by the way, when you were catching those or deflecting those things, those pots that the trees were, that because Roger said, okay, I let him deflect them, but I will not let him catch them and throw them back. But then I suddenly saw this Averin who ducked under this bowl went with it, did a backflip, and just in the motion threw it back at him. So, man, we can imagine how that would work, right?
We can definitely imagine, but I think we should be glad that I could just choose the ability.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could also mention like it's not a missile or something like that. But
Yeah.
I think you should always think about
Yeah.
how it portrays in the mind. If
Yeah.
you think it can be done, then it can be done. If you think, nah, that's not gonna happen, then you need to draw some lines.
Yeah.
And I think Roger is really good at that. I also always feel that I get the room to do cool things.
Yeah, I like how he can say no.
And exactly, sometimes it's just, no, that's just not.
And I think as a party we are getting more comfortable with that as well right now. With his no. Which is good. Then it's just a no. Esner says, I thought that fighting an enemy based on exponential growth was the most appropriate way for a show at the end of 2020.
That's a good one.
But in always a great episode. Yeah, I like that one. Let's not call it, give it a name.
No, let's not.
But yeah, good one. Yeah, there were so many funny. There were all these puns in between, and everything was just about the laughs and the seriousness at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, and what I had the feeling is that we're operating more as a group, more and more and more, because this last battle was quite good.
Yeah. So that I depleted all my, nearly all my resources for this one. I did the most strange things to get out of reach, like
the one with
elongating myself. Yeah, and I had to shift to my hollow form 3 times in this combat. So I can shift to my hollow form 3 times, and I like the hollow win thing, by the way. And I cast both my magic missiles. I have 2 of them. Almost every attack was effective in some way, although 15 damage to a creature that has probably 1 hit point. Well, doesn't really make the difference, but it was so cool to do it like that.
Don't forget the most important thing, which I also spent almost all of them, the hit points. You spent almost all of your hit points doing this.
Yes, I spent almost. I would have been on -8 had I not drunk a full healing potion that gave me 10 hit points. So I'm at 2 now. That was amazing. Dangerous.
Yeah, definitely. It was super cool with the reactions, and it felt very lively to me. It felt like a mini war, mini siege.
Yeah, and that's what I think that's what the theater of mind part of it did.
Yeah.
Because that's quite different than putting a battle map full of monsters that can all move 10 feet and everything. And you know that I almost forgot about this kind of visualization as a dungeon master myself, and I'm going to use it more again. But lately I have been doing more theater of mind combat again, but at a certain point I had to do a war, and I really was in the mood like in the state of mind where I had to think, well, how do I get all these miniatures on a battleground? It should never be about that, and that's why you should always do these things theater of mind.
Yeah, and you can combine them like last session.
Yeah.
That you create a very, very large space where things happen, and then when you get to a certain combat, you do want to have that battlefield to just make it a little bit more friendly to the game rules. Because what I like, if it happens in D&D games a lot, well, not too much, but it's like last session, the part where Roger said, "Oh, we're going to skip over some things and just story our way to the battleground." You know, so you could say, like, in the rules, you have certain hit points and certain stats, and you need to defeat all these enemies to get there, and you need to actually explain how you dodge them, or you could just say like, well, we've seen some of this combat, we know what you're capable of. You
Yeah.
do your thing, and now you meet the real threat again, and that's awesome.
Yeah. So I can't wait to be level 4. And when I'm level 4, I can't wait to be level 5. And when I'm at level 5, I can't wait to be level 6 because, and so on. Because I really have this urge to progress in this game, you know. I don't want to level per se, but I just want to get to a point where I can do new things and be more strange and be and have all this interconnectivity with the group and
For you, it's not strange enough for you.
No, it can be much stranger. It's my own class, you know. Ashley says, we did notice you had a few resources to expand. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people should not call Bowen overpowered, because it's always happening, and he can only do a lot of cool stuff. That's the only thing he can.
Yeah, I can only do a lot of cool stuff. Yeah.
And then depending on where we are, more cool stuff.
Yeah, true
and
as
depending
well.
on if you're sleeping or not,
Yeah.
more or less cool stuff.
Yeah.
So it's all in the balance, you know.
So Ashley says, we did notice you had a few resources to expand. So Michelle says, ha ha ha, great one, Ashley. And then Ashley says, oh, I didn't mean you, Michelle. Oh, that has me cracking up. Now I can do only one thing. Yeah, so great episode. Let's dive into the questions, right?
Yeah, let's go.
So question 1 is for me by Esner. What is this Bowen's relationship to Kiss? Well, I am still discovering this. So as I'm still discovering this Bowen as well, I think that this Bowen is a bit jealous of Kiss. And bit might be an understatement in this case. Because
Kiss can fly.
I don't know this for certain yet, and I don't think Bowen knows this for certain yet, but Bowen Darkheart, so to say, but he is kind of trapped behind the eyes of other Bowen, while this thing called Kiss gets dispatched to possibly this world and taken back to the other world again with the flick of a wrist by Bowen. And I think that's really bothering him. And no, this Bowen cannot summon Kiss. He has no relation to Kiss whatsoever. I think that will be a thing that comes to fruition. And I'm saying this now because I'm on that journey with you, Chad. I haven't thought of this before. I'm discovering it as the adventure goes along. Same as I have no idea why Bowen is in this world or why his relationship with other Bowen is this way. Of course, I had a character concept, but I have no idea why things are as they are. Only Roger knows that, and so I'm discovering with you.
That's nice.
I didn't see this coming. Interesting. What didn't you see coming? The jealousy. Yeah, well.
The first thing that came to my mind was because Kiss can also fly, and that's the only thing that you cannot do.
I'm drinking water, man, above my keyboard.
Sorry about that.
Jealousy, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really well told, because I didn't know this too.
No,
I thought
as
you
I
knew
said,
more about your own character than you're telling us.
Esner, by asking this question, made me think about this, because up till now I have been I've not interacted with Kiss. I've been pushing myself away from him and totally neglecting our relationship in a way. That's why he's staying with Thomas, and Bowen simply doesn't care. So hollow form, hollow bones, like a bird, level 5 wings. Says Ashley. Oh. Yeah, there you have it.
Yeah.
I don't think flight is in my future, unless I get an overpowered magical item, for example. But man, I can teleport 40 feet, so that's okay as well, right? Yeah. Yeah, so that's the first answer. Then the second question is, what does Solwing think about Audrey's flying style?
Well, it's actually a different style than an Everin style, because of course our wings spring from our elbow branches, and we have a different span, and with Oddleaf it comes from her back. So I guess that her style is more butterfly style than ours, but that in general would not make a lot of difference, because they're still wings with feathers and everything on it, so they could function the same. It's just a question of practice.
Yeah. So
I think.
The other part of the question is, in any combat encounter, who is the MVP and why is it Oddleaf? Can you answer that question as well?
Yeah, of course I can. It's mostly because you wouldn't say it, but she might be our most powerful player. And I think that she also uses the whole psychology game, whereas the rest of us don't. And yeah, I also think that we still like we talk about you, Bowen, like, oh, you have so many tricks and so many things we didn't see coming, but Oddleaf has the same, and I think that she didn't show us everything that she can and will do. And she's the one that's keeping the party together, right?
Yeah, for certain. And I think that that what you cannot negate with the power of Oddleaf, which is quite incredible in a way, is that she scores a critical hit on a 19 and 20, just to put it in perspective, you know? Which I think is a great feature to have, and which might make her, when you think about power level, quite above average in this party, maybe superior to everyone else.
MVP stands for monstrously victorious player, right? Something like that.
Yes. Monstrously victorious player. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Or mobile vehicle police force.
Because with wings, she did get a lot of mobility. So we could do that.
Yeah. And then on top of this, you have the blue hair, which helps a lot as well. When the character has blue hair, this automatically inclines the d20 to roll higher on the dice, and that helps to become a moderately phenomenal portcullis.
Yeah, and next to that, if she gets a little bit better with flying, and she has the blue hair, and she will learn to fly upside down, you cannot see her from the ground because she has camouflage.
Yeah, and it's always night wherever you're going, so that as well. Yeah, so there's all these things adding up. Her Nero heritage, her elven heritage, her court heritage, her nobility, everything adds to a kind of superior being. That although she does only one thing when it comes to a die roll, it makes all the difference.
And maybe most important of all, because she's a playwright. So in the end, when our adventure is done, who will write down what happened, and who will have
Is it Bowen? Is it Bowen? No, it's Oddleaf, of course. It's Oddleaf, yeah.
She writes. So
So that's a 200% increase of power level after the fact. And
Exactly.
that's you cannot get more morbid velociraptor porcupine-ish than that. That's the extent to where you can level up in a way. Level 20 doesn't even matter anymore. You can do this at level 1. Yeah. So I hope we answered that question for whomever asked that question to us. I was smart making my character history is written by the winners. Yes. Merenee says if she also paints her face red, she will gain 1 extra square of movement. Red ones go faster. Yeah. So, yeah. Let's go to the next question.
It's good.
Does soul wing taste like chicken? This is a question by Omtas Fight Ladder. And I think it's directed at you because you are soul wing. So,
I play
to
Soul
your
Wing.
knowledge, Jim.
I would love to be Soul Wing, but I play Soul Wing.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's it seems like a super simple question, because do you taste like chicken or don't you?
It's a kind of binary thing, right?
Yeah, you would say it's a yes or no answer, but it also depends a little bit on what species eat you, because there's different taste in different communities. But let's go general and say humans.
Yeah.
Do humans, if they taste me, taste chicken?
Yeah.
And I would say, let's find out in the next episode of Precipice of Dreams.
Aren't you giving away spoilers now, or is this okay? Did you?
I'm going to try to not be eaten, but
if you are, so does this?
I think that the answer to this question, it would be better to play that out.
Yeah, I think so too, because yeah, I really like how you answered this question. Also because of the other species thing. You know, how would an orc does chicken taste the same for orcs as it does for humans? And if so, if not, if they both taste different chicken, then if they eat the same thing, will they experience that same kind of taste anyway? So, for example, if an orc would eat you and a human would eat you, and they both have a different experience of chicken, then will they have the same kind of different experience in eating you?
Exactly. That's what you gotta ask yourself.
Yeah.
Because I think that for us humans, it's like real humans, it's the same. That some people do taste difference between different kind of products, and other people don't.
Yeah, I think so too. And if they would taste the same, that's interesting as well, because then we have to ask the question: yes, chicken tastes the same for the both of them, but does that mean that Averin tastes the same for both of them, or is there a different layer to eating Averin that really makes the experience quite different, even though chicken tastes tastes the same?
I promise you this: if the party ever falls from a ravine, breaking their legs and wings so that they cannot come out, and no search party comes rescuing them, and we only have water, so we are going to die from food shortages.
Yeah,
we'll try it out. We'll first have
not next session then, or is that next session? Do you have inside information?
Well, Ro did say something about a ravine, but at that moment I thought I'd just fly around it or above it. But,
So we've got some interesting perspectives in the chat. Ashley says, "But if an orc falls in the forest and only a gnome hears it, will he sound like a tree?"
Yeah, well, those are the big questions, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think it depends on if he wears wood.
Do you taste like cilantro or soap? Is that the coriander thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's soap. So there we go. Oh man, that's
and the other one. If Bowen cooks soul, it could always taste like chicken.
Yeah,
because Bowen is an awesome cook.
Yeah, thank you so much. I need to be 200% more stoned for this conversation. Well, thank you. But we are taking the questions we are being asked. We are taking them serious because you never know what the idea might be behind them. So we have to fill in the blanks sometimes. But here we go. So question number 4, Mireneas. What was the number of successful mushroom-related puns in chat during last episode of POD? A wild guess will do. So, have you counted them, Djinn?
No, I have not, but my gut feeling says 23.
23, okay.
Because I remember a lot of mushroom jokes being thrown around.
Yeah. So, I think that someone should really look this up. That's the first thing I'm going to say. And then, are we saying that we have to be accurate about this or have to be close to the real number? Chat? Maybe chat can answer that.
Yeah.
Because if we have to be close to the new number, then my only decision has to be: do I raise or lower your expectation by 1? But if I have to be close is good enough, says Mireneas. So then I'm going to say, what did you say? Like 23?
I said 23.
Then I'm going for 22. I think it's less than 23, so I'm going for 22.
I think it's 23 exactly. No more, no less. Exactly 23.
Well, if that's so, you're getting what are you getting? A kiss.
I'm getting my own companion.
Yeah, you're getting in chat. That is. No.
Okay.
Yeah, chat. Not for real. I'm not giving you a kiss. Sorry.
I was hoping for the bird, actually.
If you get it right, do we get to sing "We Are the Champions"?
Can we still do that?
If you want to do that, Ashley, sure. I will make an additional camera. I will invite you to Discord, and you can sing "We Are the Champions" with us on stream, and it will be the most awesome thing that has ever happened within the podcast.
Probably.
Is going to look it up. We're continuing the puns.
Awesome thing could be as well.
No one needs to see that. I think everybody needs to see that, Ashley. Yeah. So, all these serious questions at the end of our show.
It's getting it's hard.
It's getting out of hand, man. What can you tell us about your rumored new show? That's a question directed at me, I think.
Yeah.
You've heard about this? Chat? Or is it... Oh, TV is asking this. TV? Ah, Talking Void. I asked this question of myself? Man. Is this inception? Is this deception? What kind of ception is this? I don't know anymore.
Trueception.
Trueception. This is Trueception. Yes, there will be a new show.
It's not a reception.
It's not a reception. It definitely is not a reception. But I will be doing a new show because we are splitting up the Parallel Projections team, and I will be doing my own show. And it will probably, most likely, almost certainly be called Jasper's Laboratory. And you have to pronounce it that way, otherwise you can't find it on Google search. Which is not true at all. But I like to add that one. I revealed this yesterday, actually, on stream, or the after stream, and Ashley was pretty interested. See, Ashley is always here, so that's easy to say. Yes, I'm going to do a new show, and it will be about prepping a session. So, not build. Well, it might involve building a character or building a monster, but it will really be what do I do to prepare for my next session. And I think that's the thing that's lacking a bit on the whole D&D, in the whole D&D community. You have shows that talk about it, but I will be doing it, and I will explain along the way why I'm doing certain things, which is kind of funny because I do a lot of things in my head, and I have to explain what's in my head. But,
This will be fun. This must be fun.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm looking forward to this already now.
Okay.
Extra after that last remark.
Yeah, what's happening in my head?
Yeah.
This little bus riding around, Anyway, I don't know. But that will be the new show. Conception. Yeah, conception of a new show. It's a conception, man. And if you watch Parallel Lives, he sings the theme tune. True. Jasper's laboratory gives the smartest DM you've ever seen, which is not true. I'm immediately becoming humble again. No, I'm not the best DM. I'm just a DM, and I have a lot of experience, so I can share that with you. Let's put it at that, right?
Theme song though. Are you actually going to do that theme song as theme song?
Well, now I almost need to do that, but I think I'm going to let Ashley sing it. And Djinn blows his experiments to smithereens. Yeah, that's part of it yesterday as well. And home when things go boom. And Jasper's lab. Oh man. Can you keep a straight face, Djinn? What are those tear ducts doing now?
Straight facing.
Yeah, so that's the announcement of the new show. So it will be on in, I think, about 3 weeks. It will not be on next week or anything, but I'm still preparing to make it the best thing it can be. And I think I'm going to discover what it will be all about with chat, because I probably ramble on forever and not put anything on paper for the first one. I don't know for certain, but probably.
I'm seeing in chat that you have to prepare omelette and counter.
Yeah, that's true. Omelette du fromage. So it's got a sticky feature. legendary calorie actions. Because of the bacon, of course.
Yeah. No, definitely.
In the fromage. Anyway, lots of laughs. Yeah. So that's quite a different kind of announcement. But all these, no, never mind. That's what I'm going to say about that. If you have any questions, redirect them to my manager. Oh, I'm my own manager. Redirect them to me. Anyway, ask your questions somewhere on Discord, for example. Join our Discord. Yeah. Okay. I think I didn't prepare any questions. Oh, yes. There's a question 6. What is your favorite solving moment?
Yeah,
it's a serious one. You see?
It's a serious question. And I actually have a serious answer for that one. No, it's actually what I said just now is sort of, if I think about action, then last session was it. That's the perfect moment, just trying to dodge a giant tree while flying in the air and keeping him busy and poking him, and that was really cool to do. But I think that in general, like in roleplay moments, I still think some of our very first conversations within the party have my preference, and I'm still sometimes wondering why you guys don't ask more stuff about my kind and how things work, and because at the beginning you did these things, and that's was something that I love to do, to just like, do you come from an egg? Which is which is a strange question to be answering, and these things. I think it was the second or third session we had a little moment with that, and I love those role-playing moments.
So, do you want to answer? Do you want my answer for that?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know if I have successfully done this, but I think I've never really asked you a direct question about being an Averin. But I always did sort of a kind of apologetic things towards other people about your species. So he's Averin, you know. Because Bowen, in a way, tries to be politically correct, but isn't managing all the time. So that's about it for me. And so I'm trying to treat you as just another person.
Yeah, and you're doing fine actually. It's really cool how the party interacts with me.
Yeah, but I like how I totally do not do that when I'm talking to other people about you.
But we're a strange party in that sense.
Yeah. So we have my question. Yeah, this was Eric's question, which is so funny because it's a bit of a talk. It's a bit of a Voidcast question round this time, but we had a lot of fun coming up with them. And then Misha says, "Well, we have been a bit preoccupied." That's true as well. Mireille says, "The first one tonight, right? Om tas." Yes, you got that one. Eerst even wings. And Misha says, "I love how Djinn plays Solwing as an alien."
I try.
Yeah, I love it as well. I love how, just like in real life, when we are holding a mirror to our face and actually look into the mirror and we see how we treat other people sometimes, it's great how this kind of Averin thing that's happening within our party is a way of mirroring that thing in real life. Was that a correct sentence? I don't even know, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. Is that we have to be careful of how we judge, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes just get a whiff of what other people are doing to know where they come from.
Yeah, true. So we're going to the end of the show.
No.
Yes, we are, and I'm going. So, is this the end? Yes, except for this. What was the biggest mystery you have ever uncovered in D&D? This is Mireneas' question that he proposed in the same episode as Ashley did, and I think it's a great question. I think it will be hard to answer for a lot of people, so I am wondering how many answers we will be getting. But at the same time, I love the answer because it gives great opportunity to talk about all kinds of cool things. Yeah. And yeah, I would like to see your answers, chat. Put them on Discord, put them on Insta, put them on Facebook when I ask the question there if you want. I don't care. Send them to the Voidcast Live email. And we'll be discussing that topic in about 2 weeks. Thank you, Mireneas. So what do you think of the show, Djinn?
Yeah, I loved it again. Yeah, it's I like how you pose these questions that you can go a lot of ways with. So this next question will be a good example as well.
Yeah.
Because I was already thinking so many things at the same time.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's going to be a nice discussion as well. And I'm really loving these answers that you get because it's showing that our D&D community, like we talked about in this show, is a very welcoming and combining one.
Yeah, inviting and inclusive. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. True. So Ashley says, "Wow, that will take some scanning back through campaign notes." Esner says, "No answers from Jasper's campaigns wouldn't fit even in the back answer screen." Mireille says, "At Esner, very true." And Mireille says, "The Order mystery is still going strong." So Order is one of my 2 campaign settings.
Yeah, you're doing that to people, I hear, left and right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Make these cool mysteries.
Yeah, and then never giving the answer. I was a great fan of Lost. What's happening for 5 seasons long?
No spoilers for this campaign, but I was a great fan.
Yeah, never giving the answer. That's the
Only questions.
only questions. Yeah, not entirely true, but I like that series more than some, I think. Yeah, although it was a hit, of course, but the thing that bothered some people really excited me. You as well?
I at some point I'm so curious. So if people like for every answer of one question, you get two new, more even mysterious questions, then at some point I'm just going to say, no, my brain cannot take all this mystery and no answers whatsoever. It's
Yeah.
I didn't have the stamina.
I think Lost is from a period of time where a series could still just do that because the number of series hadn't expanded as explosive, whereas there were no alternatives for people to go to.
Yeah.
It was just on that brink. After
was
that,
really-
a whole series with intellectual thingies happening were cancelled after 2 seasons because people couldn't get into it anymore, and that's still happening. But yeah. Well, Michelle likes Lost as well. And Ashley says, my words to the Lost writers, if you drop people on an island, know why before you get to season 5. Yeah. Lost doesn't get enough credit for being the first series to try it through line instead of episodics. Yeah, true. It's true. It's your entire true. Well, it's what I just said. I think that applies to this series, and I think there's a small community that really liked it, and of course it's a cult classic right now. But things like the OA, which I loved on Netflix, which got cancelled after 2 seasons because it was just too weird. But it was just my kind of weird. Yeah, they should really.
I mean, I love that series too, but if you compare it to a D&D campaign and like you have no idea where you are, what you have to fix, and what you're doing, and then at some point somebody finally tells you you should go to the south and meet the lich, and then you're like, okay, there's this lich. Okay, there's a lich. He's in the south. Let's go. Let's get these answers. And then at some point you're at some circle square or something, and you're like, yeah, we've been to all the places in the south, still no lich. And then the farmer is going to tell you, you see this circle, this square that you're standing on? This is a lich. No, we don't want that answer.
Go to Brentwick, Miriam says. It's not 5. Yeah, anyway, here we go on again. I think I'm going to end the episode here. We are 2 hours in. It's been a great episode for me as well. Thank you for asking, Djinn. And so I'm going to roll the outro. And so thank you so much, chat. And see you Monday on the Precipice of Dreams and the Tuesday after for Talking Void, and probably on Monday a version of Parallel Projections. And in the near future, Jasper's Laboratory. And I thought it was a great episode, great interaction again, and love you all. I'm going to say it. I think it's the first time that I'm saying those words. Love you all, but it's kind of true. Yeah. It was fun. Goodbye.
Yeah, thank you. Goodbye.
Caca!
Caca. Oh.